You're listening to Warrior Talk with Heather Thomas Van Daren and Brant Fricker. Get inspired. Be empowered. Warrior Talk.
We want to welcome everybody to Warrior Talk. Get inspired and be empowered. And that's what we're about. I'm your co-host, Heather Thomas Van Daren, in case you didn't know. And I'm here with my illustrious Black Rifle drinking co-host, Brant Fricker. Hey, Brant.
Just drank a cup of Warrior Talk boldness for the day. I'm glad that I did.
Yes, and we want to remind you of the Knight's Creed that's on our Warrior Talk mug, because you guys really need to pick one of these mugs up, because we want you to refer to the creed numerous times throughout the day, which means you have to have numerous cups of coffee and
Copious,
use this. Yes, it's awesome.
as my mother would say, copious amounts of coffee.
Yes, I was just thinking about you when you were getting your cup of coffee a while ago. I thought,
Uh-huh.
he needs a fun coffee maker with a funnel, so you can just funnel
Whew.
it
Oh man, I know, I know.
and don't have to wait.
I call coffee the nectar of the Lord for good reason.
Right. It's not so bad. Absolutely.
What?
So if you guys have wondered about our our topic title today, it's H-I-N
I
E-I-E-I
H-I-N-I
and I.
H-I-N-E-I-N-I.
So that is actually a Jewish term, and it means here I am. Well, when I first came across this term, I kept going, hi Nini, hi
Hi,
Nini.
Nene. Hi, Nene. But that's the Texas way, Heather. It's not the
That's the Texas way. It's really not pronounced that way. It's pronounced Heneini.
Nene. Yeah, I was
Heneini.
corrected by Avi. I was corrected in a very loving way by an actual Israeli. So,
There you go.
yeah, yeah. What's
Uh,
that? What's that word? Hanini? Helini? He said we got to bring you over here for Jewish for Hebrew lessons. But
send you to school for a while. Yeah,
yeah,
then you can come back and teach me.
there you go. Well, Avi always sends his love, and he's very loved over here. And but you know what
Yes,
though, Avi has grown up in a nation that has had to learn the meaning of this word.
that's
uh,
right.
Heneini. And so we're looking forward to bringing
Yes,
it to you as well. Now, when you first introduced this concept to me, Heather, because I have to credit you for this, of course. I mean, you always do such a great job with Warrior Talks and the flow and scope and sequence of what we do too. But you gave a definition of it that really intrigued me. Do you remember what you said?
oh, yes, I do. I said that, well, it means here I am.
Right,
But like a subtitle of that word would be doing the hard thing to do the right thing.
right. Doing what is
You know,
hard to do what is right. Yeah, yeah.
that's absolutely, absolutely.
Whew.
We got to toughen up, guys. We really do. When we talk about the Knight's Creed and armoring up and putting on the full armor of God, we're not teasing. This is not just a cute logo that we like to throw around, because
Right.
it's the embodiment of our entire Warrior Talk show. And if we have not taught people that are willing to listen anything, it's the Knight's Creed, because that can literally get you through life
Hmm.
alive.
It'll change your life. It'll change your life. It changed mine. It's changed the lives of millions of people around the world through the years, and we have to do that. We have to do. Heather, in America over here, we don't have a rite of passage, and
Mm.
for good reason. The definitions of masculinity and femininity, propagated by the Communist Manifesto, the Muslim Brotherhood Manifesto, it's taken full hold where there's confusion. But the Israelites were not confused about masculinity. And
Mhm.
Texans aren't confused about masculinity and femininity. And that's why I'm so happy that you minister in the Cowboy Church. But all that to say is passivity kills. That's what we talked about a couple weeks ago, and this topic today is the opposite of
Mhm.
passivity. And but I'm so happy though that so many people are watching Warrior Talk right now, Heather. Yeah,
Yes, and we have you can go to ctf-tv.com and you can just binge watch Warrior Talk right now. So we have
yeah,
some really wonderful sponsors that are taking care of us and making sure that we are seen worldwide.
yeah.
And golly, what a blessing, Brett. 3 years in the making, and
Oh yeah,
whoever thought this was, it just a simple phone call
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
and it was birth. So
yeah, yeah,
thank you guys. Thank you,
yeah,
all of y'all, for watching and supporting us.
yeah.
It's a Warrior Talk movement. Woo!
There you go. Well, yeah. But now we need a dance, right? Like "Achy Breaky Heart." They put out a dance to all the clubs before they brought the song out. Did you know that? Some useless knowledge for you folks as my
There you go.
intake continues. But you know what, though? Really, go to htvministries.com, htvministries.com, and get behind that. You're going to spend, and Heather, you didn't ask me to do this. I hope it's okay. But, folks, you're going to blow $50 a day on junk food.
Yeah.
Why don't you get behind something that's changing lives and souls around the world without
Hmm.
exaggeration? And
Yep.
and only, they say dream your dreams. Only dream your dreams so big that only God can make it happen. Well,
Hmm.
we never dreamed that over 100 shows later, here we are. And it's exciting that people want to hear it. I got a call the other day. Hey, can you find that show about God as our friend? And by sweet Sherry Todd, amazing mama. She may be my mama, but she tells me the truth because, she's been a singer and a presenter her entire life. So she shoots straight. And
Yeah, I've
but
had
it's
I've had a few private messages from your mama
yeah,
too.
yeah, there you go.
It's awesome. I'm so thankful.
There you
Yeah,
go. There you go. And but we're just
absolutely.
so happy. We're also happy for our regular live stream viewers like Yantina. There's Moon
Hmm.
Javed. And this is Carol Barham. Hello, Heather. Hello. Hello.
Oh, she's a
Hello, Brent.
sweetheart. Yeah.
She
Yeah,
is. She is.
she's a wonderful Christian country singer and songwriter, and I just love her and her husband Paul. He's a pastor of a church,
Yeah.
and I think they're in Alabama.
Uh-huh.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Carol, but uh too far. That's all I know. You're too far, Carol. I
Yeah.
miss you. But yeah, that we have a lot of people that really are picking up what we're laying down.
And what we're laying down is, are you really warriored up, folks? I mean, we talked about things that hadn't happened yet. And we're not
Yeah,
going to, ooh, but I mean, the spirit of the Lord is the spirit of wisdom. And we're
there
not
you
to be
go.
ignorant of the enemy's schemes. And the
That's
enemy is
right.
very predictable and he's very effective because people just don't seem to really learn from history, do they? And so here we are again in
Yeah.
this cycle, and we've talked about this as well. But doing what's hard in order to do what's right. So many people in the Bible did that, but America is in the same cycle that Israel is and has been in the Book of Judges. Sin leading to slavery, leading to sorrow, leading to supplication, and then salvation. God would send deliverance in different ways. Then back to sin, back to slavery, back to sorrow, back to supplication. Please God, back to salvation, and so and we go on those cycles in our own individual lives too. But today's topic is really going to apply to your personal life as well as us in a nation. Now, tell me about Jael Eckstein.
Yeah. Jael Eckstein.
Jael,
Yes.
cool.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys know anything about her, but she's on Facebook and she is one of the principal I don't know, ministers or whatever from uh the Christian International Fellowship of Christians and
Ah,
Jews. Okay. And I have been following her for quite some time. She lives in Israel and she reports everything that is happening to the Israeli people and to the Jews, and not to just to the Jews, but the Christians alike. We're all being persecuted. Whether you feel like it or not, you are. And the Jews are being targeted and slaughtered. And I thought, this is not in your everyday news. So you have to find your venues to understand what's really going on. We are in a spiritual warfare, guys. And we've talked about it and talked about it, talked about it. But even when we're sleeping, even when we've shut the world off, there are people being slaughtered because they believe in a holy God.
Mhm.
And you think, well, it doesn't affect me. I mean, I'm still driving my car. I'm making my payments. I live in a nice house. I've got air conditioning. Yes, it affects you. Your freedom is being robbed, and you come from a far lineage of Jesus Christ,
Mhm.
whether you want to acknowledge it or not. Why should we care about the Jews? Because Jesus was a Jew. And if we had no Jewish people, we would have no Jesus. If we had no Jesus, we wouldn't have no salvation and we wouldn't have been grafted in like we were. We wouldn't have eternal life. Guys, we've got to fight. We can't sit idly by and just say, well, that's the Jewish people. I'm so sorry that's happening to them, but I'm not Jewish. And so it doesn't really matter. Grant, I know you feel strongly about this.
Well, we're being grouped together, and a jihadist, a crazed, mindless, animalistic, sadistic jihadist swinging a machete doesn't care how you vote. If you are not Muslim, you are called a Christian. You may not even be a Christian. You may be even a
Yeah.
Jew. They'll still call you Christian. And so you're being targeted along with everybody else. White liberal women constitute the highest number of the mentally ill. Right under that is white liberal men. There's a psychosis that has aligned itself not with Democrat or Republican, although one is dominated by the other. Leftism, which is socialism and communism and Islamism, and has embraced a platform of everything vile. And then you have those on the right who don't do anything about it unless they vote about it. And so, everyone's in trouble. But you should be concerned because everyone that is breathing, even other Muslims that are peaceful Muslims. I didn't think there were peaceful Muslims, but I discovered in Egypt there were. However, everyone alive today that is not a rabid, radical, bloodthirsty, sadistic jihadist is their enemy. And as long as we walk in ignorance and chosen stupidity, then we will be a casualty. So we have to stand for humanity. The same people who stand for humanity love, 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 and give each other medals to slaughter children and worship Moloch. The people who claim to care about freedom of speech, as of today, right now, today, December 16th, Canada outlawed speaking about the Bible as hate speech. Fairy tales don't get outlawed. Uh, the truth gets outlawed. And so, if
Hmm.
there's ever a time to do the hard things because they're the right things, Heneini, here I am, Lord, it is today. And
Hmm.
so, I pray that America wakes up because we will lose everything if she doesn't. So, that's how I feel about it, Heather.
Yeah, I'm with
Yeah.
you. How warriored up are we really? Okay. I mean, what if we were confronted with something like that man that was on the street at Bondi Beach when all of that slaughtering was going on? Listen, from 10 years to 87 years old, maybe it was only 16 people out of 2,000, but these were Jewish people that were gathered together to celebrate Hanukkah, to light the candles, to bring the light into the world, and evil set out to snuff them out, guys. So how much are we, if that came to our neighborhood, would you be willing? What would you be willing to do? Would you be willing to armor up and defend? Or would you say, oh, hurry, find a place to hide? It just breaks my heart. From 10 years old, one of those people that were killed was a Holocaust survivor, guys. That just breaks my heart.
Yeah.
He
And
survived Holocaust and
and
then
it
was killed by a sniper.
keeps happening. And it keeps happening. And you know
Yeah.
what? and this is our children have been poisoned and propagated. When I first went to college, they tried so hard to turn me into a communist. Well, Jesus was the perfect. And so all this time, the CCP, Communist Chinese government, has given billions to our universities as Confucius centers. Muslim Brotherhood
Mm,
has given the same to our universities that take billions from the government and then charges
yeah.
millions to citizens. And it's time that we do the hard thing and we address these communist professors. I was an adjunct professor. I challenged some for debate. They would never accept because they've never had a job. That's the big joke. These vile Luciferian Marxists have never had a job. They just keep getting degrees and they teach for a living. And
Mm,
so it's true. And I've been in that world. And what I'm saying is, folks, it's time to do the hard things in order to do the right things. And it's a whole lot easier to handle a problem when it's in front of you instead of around you. Yeah, but we are surrounded. But we may at times we may be cast down, but we are not destroyed. We may be pressed. But we are
that's
not
right.
done. That's why it's important, folks, to pay attention to where you get your news. It's important to see what happened in Australia. Of course, you have to understand the agenda. The agenda of the Luciferians in this world is to kill the bloodline. That's the reason for the LGBTQ. That's the reason for the communism, the Marxism. It's the reason for gender confusion. Very well funded. It is to destroy, kill, steal, and destroy the bloodline. And you
Mm,
can do that. And I know that wasn't a part of our outline, but it's so important that that includes that ancient spirit of Haman, to kill God's people. And
yeah.
you can chase rabbit trails and all this conspiracy about Jews and Israel and such. Bottom line is, our only ally in the Middle East is Israel. Uh, Israel doesn't need us; we need them, quite frankly.
Mm,
If you know, then you know. And they have the ability to destroy the entire world at the push of a button. You can be sure that they have the means already implanted in every country because they've had to fight for their very survival. So put aside a lot of the noise, and you need to understand if you claim to stand for humanity and you love your family, then you have to be willing to do the hard things.
mm. Yes, and do is a word of action.
Mhm.
There's that is it 1785 or 1795 quote that I say is the new 21st century quote of Sir Brantus Maximus.
Oh
And
yes, oh yes.
because you use it all the time,
Yeah,
and it's the only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing.
yeah, yeah.
We can't just do nothing.
Mhm.
What do you have to say on that? Expound on that for us.
Well, there's people, there's three kinds of people in this world. There's people who make things happen. That's you and me, Heather. There's people who watch things happen,
Hmm.
and there's people who say, "What
What
just happened?"
happened?
And we are make it happen people,
Yeah.
and because we have to be. Number one, you need to speak up. Um, you need to. I'll give you a practice right now. Number one, you need to get close to the Lord and solidify that relationship. God, I am yours. I serve you. Every morning I pray the most dangerous prayer. Jesus, take possession of me.
Hmm.
God knows Luciferians pray for Lucifer to possess them. Jesus, take possession of me.
Hmm.
Secondly, do what you know to do. You need to speak up. You need to show up. You need to vote. We live in a system. This, and this doesn't take that away. You need to join patriotsinaction.com. It's free, patriotsinaction.com, so you can show up, you can vote, and you need to run for something. Take dominion. Oh, well, we don't get involved in politics. Well, then you're very foolish because our very Constitution, Bill of Rights, and Declaration of Independence is based on the sermon notes of the Black Robe Regiment, those outlaw preachers that King George wanted dead. Get to your roots, man.
Mm.
And then you need to be bold. Let me tell you something. If I see a Hamas flag in my neighborhood, they ain't going to be holding it very long. If I see
Yeah.
some drag queen doing a lap dance for a kindergartner, I'm gonna knock his teeth out, and I'll do the time, do the hard things, you know, because we got to have warriors, not pusses anymore, and this confusion, you know, and so put your trust in God, put your love in people, but put your trust in God and be warriored up. It's on your back porch now.
Hmm.
And look where silence, look where timidity, look where compromise, look where appeasement has got us as a nation. For God's sake, we need men now, and we need women. Well, I tell you what, women I run around, and my family, and yours truly, Heather. You know what? She'll set it straight with her guns. And, we you better warrior up, and it's not just a little. Let's keep our promises. Hey, that's 100 years ago, folks. It's
Hmm.
time for dangerous men and dangerous women who love God and who are fearless, and who put their faith in the Lord and put their money where their mouth is, And so anyway, it almost sounds like I spent a week with Machine Gun Preacher, doesn't it, Sam Childers? But I did.
Yeah, same. That's okay. I mean,
Yeah.
we need some reality checks. We really do. And sometimes we have a show that's really lighthearted and fun, and we like to let you guys know we're not all serious, but we're serious.
Well, I am leather. You are the lace. That is for
There,
sure.
that's
You know.
exactly it. But I'm one tough cookie too, because
Yeah, you
you
are.
can love everybody and you can pray for everybody and hope that they get it right and hope that they know the Lord. It's the way we have to act. We have to be a a warrior, and we have to be armored up at all times. We have to be willing to do the hard thing, to do the right thing. And
Right.
so there's definitely a balance there. The Knight's Creed, it's not all hard nose and hard knocks. Live pure. That's what we do. We have to live pure every day. Our thoughts, our actions, everything. Speak truth, which is what we're doing right now, like it or not.
Yeah.
Speak truth, right, wrong. We try so hard to do that on this show, on Warrior Talk. But not only that, just every day in your walk of life. If you see an injustice, try to make it right. And then follow the king. Know your word. Your word contains everything that you need to know. It's your roadmap for life. And if you don't have it written on your heart, one day that Bible may be taken away from people in America. You better have it written on your heart, Brent.
Yeah. When I was producing the news for the persecuted church for 3 years out of China, I don't know if you knew that. The Christians in concentration camps today, they said our pastors didn't warn us.
Yeah.
There's a penalty for those who are watchmen on the wall who do not warn the people. So we have to live out God's plan. That code, live pure. Hey man, make it right with the Lord. Get your life right. Speak the truth. Speak the truth. I say what I mean. I mean what I say. And if I'm wrong, I'll admit it.
Yeah.
I've had to go back and apologize to people because I was wrong
Well, we've
about
never claimed to be perfect.
exactly. Hey, I don't mind being wrong. Show me the right way. Some
That's
of you
right.
have to be right that you will go to the flames of hell before you admit you're wrong. That's pride. And you're looking at a man that had all the pride in the world in the early '90s, especially. And God has a way of setting us straight, doesn't he? A father does that, And I won't claim to be anything now, but I'm telling you what, you better get it together. It's on your back porch. And but God knew that, and God knew that you would be born at this time. Somehow He knew that your soul could handle it. He knew that your soul was up to the task to be alive today. You weren't alive to
Mm.
pay bills and die. You were born for a destiny, and it's a thrill to help people step into that. But all that to say is, here we are. We are at war. You better warrior up. You better be a warrior because your life and the lives of your children depend on it. Be willing to fight the battles so your children don't have to. This
Hmm.
youngest generation is rebelling against this evil, vile, everything senseless. And so, Jesus warns us also with discernment, false prophets. We have to have discernment. I didn't have discernment in a recent thing about 7 months ago, and I made it right. I cut off all ties and made it right. I sacrificed a lot of money too, but I got a clear conscience because we are responsible for what we know and who we know, and we have to
That's
have
right.
discernment, and we have to decide to follow Jesus. The word decide means to cut.
Hmm.
We got to use the
Hmm.
word of God and decide to follow Jesus and fight the battles our children don't have to. And also, Matthew 24, Jesus warns us against false Christs and false prophets. Hey, it's a fad to be a prophet now. Very profitable. My wife says, tell me how you spell prophet. Profit, or the other way. Everyone wants to be a prophet, but nobody wants to be sodden too. Everyone wants to be an apostle, but nobody wants to work a job. Hey, it's time to put that nonsense over. Take it over and take up the word of God. I mean, it is sharp, it is living, and that of course takes us to Ephesians 10 and 18. And what are we talking about there? About going, what should we do in addition to the armor of God? What else should we do? We should pray.
I've gone, oh, for sure.
We should pray, man. Pray. I've got to be
Yeah.
better at it. I've got to be better at it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I got to get better
you
at it.
know, it's just speaking to God.
Yeah.
If we can look at it that way and wake up speaking to God, go to bed speaking to God, go throughout the day speaking to God, you know what we're doing? We're actually sustaining our armor by doing that.
Yeah.
And that's living according to God's plan. That's what we got to do, guys.
That's what we got to do. And, and
Yeah.
and he does have a plan. Your life has already been written before you were born. That's why it's so important. Man, God, take possession of me. Lord,
Yeah.
may your praises be on my lips. Pray in the spirit on all occasions, with prayers and requests. Keep this in mind. Be alert. Keep on praying for all of God's people. And you know what? There's a time for everything. Solomon knew that. Time for peace, time for war. You're at war. I'm just so happy that the founding fathers didn't just pray about it. That they
Right.
fought and
But we're talking about Ephesians, and now it's come back to me now. But the full armor of God is in Ephesians, what is it, 10 through 18?
mhm,
Okay, but if you keep going, there is that final verse that says to pray in the Spirit on all occasions. Okay, but if you keep going, it says be alert. All right, we got to be alert, guys. Be a kingdom operative. But it also, this is what hit me, Brett, when I read that scripture. It is in verse 18, it says, keep on praying and keep on praying for all of the Lord's people. And that includes the Jewish people, y'all.
right.
Um, so keep on praying, not just for yourself and your family, but we're a huge family of God, and we need to pray for everybody. And your prayer could be the only one that is being uttered up at that very particular moment for whoever God puts on your heart. So don't stop praying, guys. That's definitely, I'm glad you brought that up, Brent. It's like it finally
ABP.
dropped. Yeah. Always be praying. Yeah. Or frog,
Yeah.
fully rely on God.
Hey, all right. I love those. Or Heneini. Uh,
Huh? Hanini, here I
Heneini.
am, Lord.
Here,
Send
Lord, send me.
me. Yeah.
There's a movie
Shout
called, yeah,
Hanini. Everybody shout Hanini in your spirit or out loud. Use that word. Here I am.
yeah.
And let's seize the day, guys. Let's be everything that we talk about week in and week out on Warrior Talk.
It's a wonderful close.
Yeah.
And so, live by Hanini as you eat your panini. Always be praying.
And don't say hi Nini.
Don't say hi, Nini. Hanini. No, here, my Lord, send me every day of your life, every sphere. We've already got our time right, so we're just talking to you now. But in your sphere of influence, we love you. We care about you. That's why we do this. We wouldn't do this. We got other things to do, but we do this because we love you. And God is using us to speak into your life, just like He uses you and others to speak into our lives. We're in this together. But it is time to take up His sword, to get it in your spirit, get it in your heart. and to live fearlessly. This life is a test. This life is a gift. I know what it's like to not be in this body. I know what that's like. I know what it's like to not be in this realm. I know what that's like. And the Lord allowed me to be back. You know, I'm not going to make a book about it. And I'm not going to build a ministry on it, but I'll tell you this life is a test and this life is a gift. And you can
Mm-hmm.
champion it today. You can be a champion in your life day. You can lead yourself so you can lead others. When you say, Lord, send me and Heneini, and you are willing to do the hard things in order to do the right things, because guess what? You're the light of the world. You're on.
Mm,
You're up.
that's
It's up to
right.
you. It's up to us to fix this. So
Yeah.
we got to do everything we can. But what a great show, Heather. Appreciate you.
I love you, brother. And I
Love
love
you
all of
too.
y'all too. We'll see you next week,
We'll
okay?
see you soon. God bless you.